Hi, and welcome to Strangers from the Internet, the video. I'm Bethany.
And I'm Angie. And this is Logan.
Yeah, this is...
who's not really facing the camera, but trust me, he'll be here. Try not to be too distracted by the adorable cat, but you know.
We'll do our best, and...
we will do our best to not be distracted by him, but yeah, okay.
As is, I think, probably obvious, I'm here in Louisiana with Angie. I came to visit, and we decided we were going to record since we've been on such a very long hiatus.
Since what, July?
Yeah, like July.
Yeah.
Which would have been our anniversary.
Right.
And it didn't work out that way, but that's okay.
No.
We're going to be back, so...
We are back.
Yeah. And we have a lot planned, but this is, our hiatus was, I had health issues, and if you follow me, you would know that I had my teeth fixed, and...
It's quite a long process.
It was, there was a lot of recovery time, and, there was a lot of stress leading up to it, and there's lots of details on my blog if you really are, don't know and want to get updated. We'll put links or something so that people can get updated on the whole thing. An announcement that's not going to be a surprise for anybody.
No, it's an announcement. It's not a surprise announcement.
Yeah, it's really obvious at this point. Even when we were going to announce it, it was everybody thinks we're now affiliated with Made to Fail.
Yeah. Well, we're friends with everybody there, so it's a logical, we've had Kevin on, and it's a logical,
so it's just
judgment, or I don't know what the word is for that, but yeah. Deduction, there you go. But now it is official. We are a Made to Fail production.
And that was you've been writing on the website, the Made to Fail website.
Yeah, I've been doing
you've been working with
I did this. I do the second time around now, which is where I'm reviewing the Age of Apocalypse X-Men issues from the 90s, and just a coincidence, really, that Noel had asked me to be part of the, let me see if I can do this right, monthly midnight movie exchange, which is where he and I and Tony, who works with him on the Saturday short-lived showcase, they really like those
the alliteration.
Alliteration, yeah. We each pick a crazy movie, kind of cheesy, kind of silly, and we've been reviewing them. So yeah, both of those are already Made to Fail. So yeah, may as well bring this one on over too, right?
What was the last one you did? The Calamari Wrestler.
Calamari Wrestler, yes, which was my pick.
Yeah, and I guess we decided that since I've been here and we've been doing some interesting things, we talk about it. Yeah. As a way to sort of break
back into it. And plus it's because I think it's something in this day and age that we all kind of do, is we meet everybody on the internet, and then one day it's oh man, it'd be so much fun to hang out.
Yeah.
And so we actually got to do it.
We did it. We got to hang out. And I'm leaving tomorrow, so this is when we have to do it. So
right, it's kind of the recap now, so it works well in a way.
It's the weekend recap.
Yeah. But yeah, we've had a pretty full a weekend. She arrived late Thursday, and I had Friday off of work, so we've been pretty much hanging out and doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, Friday was especially we jam-packed Friday full, and we kind of well, I got on Thursday night, and
after driving 12 hours.
That was a long drive.
In one day. She's a trooper, that's all I gotta say.
It was, it wasn't, I like driving, and it wasn't too bad. I drove through mostly East Texas, and I came down from north, I don't know when I crossed over into Louisiana, but I drove a long ways through Louisiana. So I came down from the north, and lots of really pretty little towns, and I drove through a lot of the woods, and it was kind of back roadsy. I don't know why the GPS took me that way. Maybe because I was no toll roads.
Well, there shouldn't be too many tolls in Louisiana.
No, it wasn't Louisiana.
Maybe for avoiding
Texas toll roads. But it was really pretty drive. Nice, lovely fall drive. I got into the Halloween mood with my Halloween music list. So it was a fine drive. I drive for a living, so driving isn't that big a deal for me, I guess. But I got in Thursday, and then we had dinner, and I was No, we watched a movie.
We did. Yeah, we had pizza and then we watched Cabin in the Woods.
That's
She
right.
had not seen it yet, so I was like, oh, we have to watch it then.
Yeah, and we totally did have to watch it.
Yes.
I think that completes the Chris Hemsworth movies I had not seen for the summer. So
You're good to go.
I'm good to go. I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was cute and funny, like the way it was meant to be, kind of like snarky like that.
Right.
Like really, it kind of broke down the tropes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to like get into, because I know some people haven't seen it, so I don't want to get into it too much.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like some of the most exciting things that make you go are like they're total spoilers.
Yeah. So maybe later we'll talk about it in a spoiler sense. But yeah, like as a rough overview, I enjoyed it. A+. Would buy again.
So yeah, that was we did that, and then we pretty much like went to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she'd been driving, I'd been working all day, so that was pretty much that. And then Friday we got up pretty early, I think. Fairly early, you know, and headed over to the zoo first, right?
Yeah.
That was the first thing.
After beignets. We had to
Oh,
have
that's
beignets.
right, yeah, we did beignets, we went to Cafe du Monde and got the coffee and beignets. And then we headed over to the zoo, which I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite places around here to go all the time. So.
It's an incredibly beautiful zoo. I've been to a lot of zoos, and when I came here when I was 16, school trip, so it was real sanitized. But we went to the zoo then. It was beautiful then, beautiful now. So it's worth like coming to the zoo if you ever come to New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth going to. The monkeys were great to watch.
Yeah.
Even though they screamed like that whole first like part, we could hear these monkeys.
Yeah, they were like, I guess it must have been the howler monkey or one of those type of, because you could just hear them like screaming.
Yeah,
and we were like on almost the opposite side of the zoo, but like it was that loud.
Yeah, we got to touch the elephant.
We did. We got to pet the elephant.
They were doing an elephant show, and like we saw it, and they were like, oh. They're not really doing a show, it's just they've got them out. And then we came back, no, it was actually a show. But we got the end where we got to touch the elephant, so that was all that was really
fun. All
that really mattered anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Then what did we do after that? We went and had...
Did we go?
No, we got because we got really hot, because it was really hot.
It was pretty warm.
Yeah.
Like, not completely unbearable, but it was still in the 80s, so it was starting to wipe us out a bit, I think.
Yeah.
So I think we probably came back here.
Yeah, I think we came back here for a little while and just sort of chilled.
Yeah. And then we went to, I brought her to get some po' boys, because once again, when you're in New Orleans, what do? And it's actually a place that was like 3 blocks away from where I grew up. And I absolutely love it. If you're in the area, it's Shortstop po' boys. If you've never had them, you absolutely have to.
Incredibly delicious. They were wonderful.
Best roast beef you ever have. I'm like not even kidding. So yeah, those were really good. Of course.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So we had that.
Then I think we came back here and
and
because you got your stuff for Target, and that was some of the part of it.
Oh, that was late Thursday.
Was that Thursday?
That was Thursday.
No. I'm talking about when did your dress come in?
That's right. You're right. My outfit. For those of you who don't know, because we've been away so long, so strangers from the internet, people might have missed this. Jack and I, that's my boyfriend, we're working on a short film together. It's a Western. So my dress was finished being made, so he brought it over and I tried it on, make sure it all fit and everything. He took some pictures. I'll have to try to put a picture up so y'all can see that. So yeah, we tried that. That's the night before. What I'm thinking of is he and our other lead had come over and we recorded some lines, because basically we're recording the lines partially so that we can all listen to the CD and like practice with it and really get our lines down, and also because he's doing the storyboards and we're going to do like animatics so that whenever the DVD comes out you'll be able to see it all together, and that should be pretty fun. And
I've had a little preview of it, and it's going to be really great, guys. Just so you know, it's worth getting into because it's going to be awesome.
It's definitely going to be fun to do. I already know that, because it's a little bit of physical stuff, and like I get to be like really sassy, so I'm like really excited.
I'm really excited about your part.
She kicks some ass, and we basically take advantage of the fact that I'm so tiny to like where like the guy's gonna be like this tiny little thing, and I'm like big old shotgun, just wait, honey. So yeah, it's real fun. So yeah, we did that. Let's see, and then I think that was when Bethany's never been to a haunted house before.
Right.
I haven't been since I was 12. So we were talking even before, like, you came down. We were like, oh, we should go.
Yeah.
So, and I said, well, I think it'd be more fun if we had a group. So, like, I had started, like, early in the morning, like, texting people, like, oh, you want to go? Oh, no, I can't take those. Oh, I'd love to, but I can't afford it, So, like, finally, we had, like, a couple friends, and they were being wishy-washy. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, they waffled.
And, but eventually they decided not to come. So we were like, well, if we don't do it, if we don't make ourselves go,
we're never going to go.
We're going to chicken out of it and we're not going to go.
Yeah.
So let's just do it. Because it was already like, it was like 10:15 and they closed at 11. So
yeah,
like,
if you didn't buy your ticket by like 11 or you didn't get in line by 11 or something like that,
right.
you were out of luck.
Getting in.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, let's just go and we'll just, we'll just do it.
Yeah.
And it's the mortuary, which I think is getting a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
So even if you're not from here, you may have heard of it, or you may see it on some like top 10 lists.
Well, yeah,
it's pretty big.
And it's also what was it, a real haunted building of some kind?
It was. It was like they call it the mortuary because it was a mortuary. And so as you might expect, a lot of dead bodies running through there. There's at least. So I think, did they actually confirm that it was haunted? Like one of when the show?
Yeah, some show.
We can't remember which of the ghost shows came.
Yeah, a show. I think when we went on and it said they had like a placard and they taped over the show name on the placard.
Yeah, like they didn't want to endorse it or something.
Or it might have been that the show that it had been confirmed on hasn't aired yet, so they didn't want to like reveal it early or something.
That's possible.
Or it might have been like they in the show had some kind of like loggerheads.
Right.
So they like put like electrical tape.
Yeah, but it did say as seen on TV.
Yeah, so you might have seen it on TV is like the point.
Right. Yeah. And I think one of my coworkers at work, he's kind of a guy who likes to bullshit, so I can't always, I got to take it with a grain of salt. But he claims he had been in there before it was like actual haunted house, and he felt something. And he's like, I can't talk about it, but there's something. So it's like, okay, either you're, I don't know, but we'll see.
It might have just been winding you up.
Right, exactly. Right. And then of course there was that really cold section.
Oh, there was. Oh my gosh.
But most likely they had like air conditions on and they're like turned up as high as they could go.
Yeah, they were probably trying to maybe induce that just a little bit.
Probably.
Yeah.
So so I was just saying that, we got there in time and we went in, and I don't think did I start saying this? And the theme was Cirque du Freak.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a circus show.
Like Cirque du Fear, maybe?
Maybe it is. That's right, you Cirque du Fear.
Because Cirque du Freak is that book series, I think.
Okay, that's probably what,
Yeah, because I've done it all weekend, yeah.
Cirque du Fear.
Cirque du Fear.
So, there was a guy who, his name was Rathbone, but according to the guy that was in the little parlor, he's Ronald McDonald's brother.
Yeah, Rathbone McDonald. He's Ronald McDonald's brother.
Evil brother.
Yeah, he worked with McDonald's at one point in time, but they didn't let him near the kids. That's what he said.
And he was actually, like, before you even got into the house, he was out in the line. And this guy, I don't know who the performer is, but he was great.
Yeah, he was fantastic. He was funny and scary.
Yes.
Yeah, and it wasn't like, I don't think he really scared us too bad.
We were loving it.
Yeah, we were really enjoying his show, but like he was creeping out like something. Like, and if he could tell that they were afraid of him, he'd chase them around
What's the matter? What's the matter? You scared yet? You scared yet? You alright? Like do it and he's like talking to one girl and he's like flirting with her in like the dirty old man kind of way.
But flirting with her in a way where he might like actually be talking about consuming flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was another girl I was with, and like she had it was like a dress, and it was like upside down crosses and skulls.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you got a motif going on here. Do you know what a motif is? And apparently she like shook her head no, and he's like, should I know? You can Google it, honey. Like it was like, so that kind of level of like messing with people, he was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a great fun in line.
Yeah.
Yeah, was almost worth like the
That
cost of
was.
admission just to
he was really
for him
entertaining.
to entertain. So, and then there was a really long wait in line. So it's a good thing he was there, because I would have gotten like.
Yeah, it really did it did a good job to kind of like either not make you impatient, number one, and also just to kind of settle you into the mood of the whole thing, I think.
Yeah.
To some extent.
Yeah, and they had like a stage that I wish I thought to take a picture of with my phone.
Yeah.
And then they had like they had a couple of like clown animatronics, and it was like 3 clowns stacked on top of each other, and they were like doing like this movement thing.
Yeah, like every now and then it would like do like this to make you think like it could fall on you.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. And also there was a thing that it had to have been handmade. They didn't buy this somewhere. Yeah. And I got a picture of it, so I'm gonna have to show that as well.
Yeah, we'll put it on.
But it's this clown. And his mouth is open, and he's got this like fantastic, like Nosferatu looking, like fang teeth,
razor teeth, and
like his eyes. I don't know if it'll show in the picture, but his eyes were like so vivid and like because they were like clearly glass, whereas everything else was like.
I think they might have been set in acrylic, like
you think
resin, like resin, like they poured it in resin. It's what I would think it would be.
That's
but
true.
It could have been glass entirely.
It was very shiny, so either way, it had that kind of look. But it was just really, really well done. Creepy as hell.
Yeah.
So.
And we did. It might have been like after we got our tickets, because there was a line to get the tickets, and then there was the line to get into the building.
Right.
And that might have been like 30 minutes altogether.
It took a while.
It was a bit of a wait.
It was past 11, but like we were in, through the line far enough that they didn't like stop us.
Yeah, I think that whole like buy tickets by 11 thing was like a fudge. Because we didn't really get up to the window until like it can't have been like 11.
I guess they probably. Especially like this early on in the year, it's probably not an issue. They probably figure if there's a few more people, all right, let's let them through. But I imagine once it gets closer to Halloween,
and they've got the big crowds and whatever.
Yeah, they probably have to start turning people away, otherwise the poor people who work in there would never get to go home for that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So yeah.
And they're all like really great performers. Like you can tell that they're very good at being still.
Yes.
Very good at being quiet.
They're very good at like mimicking animatronic movements, so that you think that you're not entirely sure which is which.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we got up to the front, and they let us in. It was a little while. We were one of the last groups through. So there's maybe another group behind us.
I think so.
Yeah. And it starts off it's like a funeral parlor, and there's like when I say parlor, I mean like in the older sense of a word of a parlor, not like a front room. And then there was like a casket, and he says because it was for the midget ringleader, and he said even though it's a midget, he got him a big casket because he would have wanted it that way. And they did like a little film. Yeah. Like introducing that whole thing, I think. Yeah. And then,
basically they tell you to head up the stairs and you're going to be going through the haunted house. Yeah. And okay, like when we walked into the parlor, there were a couple doorways that probably didn't have doors, and they had curtains that were just covering them. And I'm refusing to go near the curtains because I'm already ready for someone to jump out at me. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I'm not going over there. No, I'm going to stand over here in the middle of the crowd. Because Bethany was like, you can't see the screen, when they were showing the film. You don't want to move. I said, no.
Well, because everybody was in front of us, and neither of us are tall, so all these tall people are in front of us, and I thought, well, if we move over by the side, but here's where they're worried someone's going to grab her.
I was convinced someone was going to jump out from behind those curtains.
Yeah.
So, which... it was a good amount of thinking when we got inside. Yeah. Because that's essentially what was happening. Nobody grabbed you. At the mortuary, they have a thing. People will not touch you unless, you touch them.
Yeah, that's what the website said.
Yeah, so. Which I can't imagine. Why would you go touching them? But
teenagers.
I guess so. Yeah.
Like some kids like to mess with the performers. Yeah. I told you my English teacher, it was Comp 1, and when I was going to college a few years ago, he was working in the Frontier City haunted house, I guess. And he said some of the older teens were the worst because they would mess with the props and they'd mess with the people, and so I can see why that rule would be don't touch us and we won't touch you, but all bets are off if you do physical contact. So
So
the first room, we went up the stairs.
and
it's like an actual house. It's like an actual like funeral home.
Yes.
Like, so there's like winding, like little tight.
Yeah, like they're kind of curving and they're fairly steep, you know.
Yeah. And I'm in front because we decided.
Yes, she was my shield. She was very brave to be my shield.
And so we went up the stairs, and there was this the first room
It was a bedroom.
Yeah.
And you could tell as you come in the doorway, there was like a what do you call that? A floor post canopy bed.
Canopy bed, yeah.
And you could tell there was something on it. And I'm like, you know what? Not looking. Just not gonna look.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I didn't look either. I
don't want to know. But there was a woman who was like right next to the bed with an axe in her hand.
Yeah, she
looking
was all
kind
made
of undead-ish.
Yeah, she's made up.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, she's real, and she's gonna.
Yeah, she was like,
gonna do
like following the line, like menacingly staring at us.
Yeah, which I guess thinking about it, she's probably one of the first like go this way people, because there's a lot of people in there. I have to say that's really good because the rooms are so like really dark and they're really kind of atmospheric, but there's usually someone around who, even though they're being menacing, they're not being cruel enough that they're just kind of like, okay, that's the way you want to go.
Yeah.
You know, so they keep you moving forward.
Well, it's one of those older houses where, you know, they're not built the way you would expect a house to be built.
Right.
So you kind of need that little bit of guidance.
Yeah. So yeah, there was that, and then I think was like the dining room.
Yeah, the dining room.
It was like a circular table with a bunch of chairs.
Well, and they had like this fog, and they had like a light thing playing over the fog, so it was like, there was like a ghost. Because they had a projector projecting a ghost into this fog over the middle.
Okay.
I didn't know if you'd seen that or not.
I don't think I did. I think I was like mostly, because I think there was like an opening on this side.
Yeah.
I was worried someone's going to jump at any second. So yeah, I think I missed that.
Yeah.
And I know like when we were almost out the room, there was a loud thud.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they dropped something in that room or if it was just somewhere nearby, but there was a really loud like crash, like you know, you're like freaking. So I think from there was the ice cave, or
the
like
hallway?
or was it the
ice cave with the stringy thing?
That's what I like to call it, because like I said, it was really really cold.
Yeah, it was cold in there,
and it was like these like stringy like curtains on either side of you.
Yeah, it was like white cloth, but it had like long like tendrils coming out of it.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, like there was someone behind it. Like,
yeah, it was not a solid sheet.
No, it was like
on either side. It
billowing.
was like stringy things.
Yeah.
So that there was definitely people on the other side. And hey, like you know, like that kind of thing, like
pushing the thing out, like I screamed.
Yes.
You know, and we're like she's got like me by the waist,
pretty much hugging her. Yeah.
I'm trying not to like because my first instinct is to run, and I'm like, oh God, I will drag her.
I should have like on piggyback or something. Now I think of that. That was, oh God. I just imagine for the workers, they'd be like, look at these two.
Well,
I bet we wouldn't be the only people who have ever done that.
No,
I guarantee you.
I doubt it. Yeah, I think that would be. But yeah, so that like it was good and creepy.
Yeah, it was. And like there was another one that was mostly just a dark hallway.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, being a mortuary, there's a cemetery right next door.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a dark hallway and there were windows and you could just look out on the cemetery, which was really awesome. I mean, as I'm sure most people know, our cemeteries are gorgeous with all the above ground.
Incredibly distinctive.
Yeah. So that was really fun.
If any of my pictures at the cemetery that we did go to turn out, we'll post some of those too.
Definitely.
So that,
we'll get to that. That's another day. But yeah, so there was that. And I know there were like more rooms. There was one thing that kind of reminded me of BioShock because it was like a guy in the
scuba suit,
underwater scuba suit,
the diver suit,
and there was like interesting like textures on the wall that it just kind of reminded me of like the BioShock steampunk.
It might have been intentionally like. BioShock.
I have a feeling, yeah. There was, which is kind of weird for a circus theme, but you know. And then the other one I really remember was that it was this big animatronic. I mean, I'm talking 7-8 feet tall.
Because that was the other one that like really startled me because there was someone there too, right?
Yes, and there was a guy who was like white,
mm-hmm.
and like really like they did his eyes real well. Like he looked real, and he's just standing there, and you're like, that's not an animatronic.
Yeah,
he looked like it at first.
Yeah.
But you just knew like, no, this is a real dude. And yeah, he like kind of chased us out of the room.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. And then there was that the hallway with the.
Oh yeah, it was like this thing. It's hanging like this, like I don't know. I guess a generic, not quite a werewolf, but like a demon type thing, and it would like kind of move, but like not actually hit you. And you screamed at that.
I did scream at that one.
That one got you.
I was very. I was trying to hold it together, man.
Yeah.
And sometimes I couldn't.
There was some creepy stuff. There was some really. I'm telling you, they did a really good job.
I have a minor clown thing, and so I was, not so much that it's like, oh, I have panic attacks or anything, just enough that it makes them a little more creepy than normal, which
I think everyone does. So we were talking about that. It's like because it's a person, but their face is painted, usually in a very bizarre kind of expression, and you just don't know who this person is or. They're supposed to make you laugh, but they're very odd a lot of times. There's something that's slightly off about the clowns in general.
Yeah.
Plus Pennywise.
Pennywise. So that was, and then there was the hall with the thing where the guy was like opening it really loud and the thunk when he closed it.
Yeah, it looked like a mirror, but obviously it was like a sliding door. And he would like yell at you and then like slam it shut.
Yeah, and the noise like thud, really loud.
Right.
And that was like the thud was just really startling. Like.
Yeah. And so on top of that, we're looking ahead. There's like what it looked like a white wall.
Yeah.
And then the dark walls on either side of us, and we're like, where are we supposed to go?
Yeah. What are we supposed to do?
And so finally, there was one couple. That, like, the way, because, they only let in so many people at a time. There was one couple that was let in behind us.
Right.
And the guy was like, no, look. And he, like, pulls, like, there was a tiny little crack, and he pulls it apart. Mm-hmm. Because it's, like, ceiling to floor airbags. That kind of like tent material.
You know what it makes me think of? Is, I don't know if you ever did this, but they would come in, they would blow up, like, a planetarium. At, like, school, they would, like... It was like a planetarium tent. They'd pump a whole bunch of air into it. And that's what it made me think of.
It made me kind of think of, we used to, for some reason, we'd always play with a parachute.
Yeah, it was like that kind of material.
Yeah, like that kind of material. Which that was like big and hollow, but this was obviously something that was essentially like a balloon.
Yeah.
That they could fill up. And it was blown up so tightly that, you had to squeeze through it. And so we're squeezing. I'm going like this, keeping my elbows out, trying to give myself a little bit of space.
Yeah, and I was trying to the guy in front of me was also trying to help, trying to help us.
Right.
And like I'm trying to push it wide enough because I know she's narrower than me, so I'm hoping like maybe she doesn't have to fight quite so hard because I was really having to.
Yeah.
And for me, it felt like to me that there were people on the other side pushing on it, which was kind of like freaking me out, man.
Yeah. And usually I'm only claustrophobic in crowds, but in that case, I was just feeling claustrophobic. I was like, I'm so small. If something goes wrong, I could get crushed.
Yeah.
That was that kind of stuff was running through my mind. It was really getting
the scary part was when we got to you were supposed to do a turn in the tent, and so I got there and I'm
like a V-ish sort of.
Yeah,
because it was and then
and we got there and we're caught. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Where do I go?
In the middle of all of every angle, pushing on you.
And the other guy, the guy from the other couple found the way to get through, and they got ahead of us somehow.
Somehow they got through the tent a lot faster.
And they must have ran through the next room because I didn't see them.
We didn't see them at all.
Yeah.
We get out. We turn the corner.
There's 15
clowns.
Yeah.
Staring at us. We don't know how many were mannequins, how many were animatronics, how many were real people. It was too dark. You really couldn't tell.
Yeah, there was no way to tell.
All you knew is there was a ginormous room of clowns, and they were all staring at you.
Yeah, there were at least 2 real people in there.
Oh, yeah.
But, if you told me at any point that they were all real, I would totally believe it.
Yeah.
And, I came out and I froze.
Yeah. And I'm behind her, and I can, see, and I'm like, we have to go through this.
There's no way we can go back.
Right.
Through that again. So,
there's no going back through the friggin' tent thing. No friggin' way.
Yeah.
So, and there was a little bit of a path. They were apart from each other just enough you could see the path. And sure enough, I guess because we were, frozen, one of the clowns like kind of came out and he's like, "Come on, come this way."
It was almost like soothing, almost. And he was like,
yes.
"No, it's okay, you can come."
Right, like it was freaky, but it was like in your brain you're going, "Okay, it's just a guy, he's an actor, so he's gonna guide us out of this mess, we're gonna be all right." And I think somebody else did, like one of the other clowns did get out of the line and like follow us.
Yeah, no, he followed us out into the hall and like did something, and I was like. And then we went through a long hall, and then we got to the stairs again.
And there was a guy, not like dressed in costume, but he had like the mortuary, so you knew he was an official guy. And he's like, "No one's gonna scare you going down the stairs. Go ahead, take your time, catch your breath, be careful, head on down." Yeah. So we did that, and I'm trembling.
You were shaking so hard.
I had gotten really freaked out by the claustrophobia thing, and then the clowns did not help.
It was sensory overload at that point. There was so much.
Absolutely. And like I said, the couple who had been trailing with us was long gone at this point. There were other people who had gone in front of us. This girl had stiletto heels. Yeah. This high. How she ran and got so far ahead of us, I don't even know.
Maybe she piggybacked.
I don't know. Because we were like, when we went up the stairs, I saw her heels and I'm like, how is she going to run through this? But everyone was gone. So it was just the two of us. We get to the end of the stairs. There's another girl who, not quite the ring, but she was like, another long hair. And she was a little more bloody than that kind of thing. And she had a machete. Yeah. And she just does like this. Yeah. Like telling you, go down that way. And I just looked, and there was nothing menacing down that hallway. No, in a way that was worse.
Yeah, because you couldn't tell if there was something.
Right. I didn't know what was going to be there. And I just I said, you know what, I can't. Yeah. I said, I can't go anymore, I'm sorry. And I turned to the girl who was sitting there, because I knew there was nobody coming behind us that it was going to ruin, her job. So I said, can I get out? Can you please show me the way out? How do I get out? And she kind of but she did. I don't know. You think maybe it was her just being her character?
And it might have just been it's hard to tell with facial expressions and makeup because she was very heavily made up. So it might have just been oh, okay, I don't want to, everybody there was really nice. Yeah. So I don't know that she was making a face at you or just
It may have just been that I was feeling like an ass at that point, so I automatically assumed everyone was judging me. Yeah. It's possible. But yeah, so we came out, and I profusely apologized to Bethany at the time because I was feeling I'm basically pulling her out of it. But I knew she didn't want to go on alone.
No, I was not that far from done myself. So, and we talked to the guy. The security guard saw that you were really upset.
Yeah, he saw me really shaken up, and he offered me a water, which was very, very sweet of him. And he even gave me a hug. He said, "You need a hug?" I said, "Yes."
Yeah, and he told us that there was more of that claustrophobic. No, I would not.
Yeah, he said. I think he said there was 2 more.
Two?
Like that. I think so.
No.
I think he said there was at least 2 more. And one of my friends told me on Facebook, I believe one of them, I don't know if it's the same thing or if it's that you just have to duck under something. So you have to not necessarily crawl, but at least crouch through.
No. I mean, I would not have been. I mean, I was not much longer for it. That's why, when she was done, I was like, okay, let's meet up.
I mean, if it had been all the clowns and the creepy guy with the bird, and I could have dealt with that, because it was creepy, but you just keep running and you're okay. Yeah. But the clothes. Oh, I've never heard of. Maybe I'm just naive and I don't know much about modern haunted houses.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to one, so I would never have. That's not something I would have expected to happen. That's why, we came to it. We were like, what the hell do we do?
Yeah, because like I said, I'd been to one when I was 12, but that was the kind where it was a very clear path that was laid out, and it was dark, But it would just, people would jump out from either side and say boo or yell or whatever, and that was it. That's what I was used to. And, guy with a chainsaw, all the typical type stuff. But, I had never dealt with any of that claustrophobic stuff, and it was just
Well, and, I'm not particularly claustrophobic, but it bothered me because I felt like there was... every time I pushed it apart, I felt like someone was pushing on the other side.
It was the pressure.
And I didn't have any idea, how many people am I having to fight to get out of here? And then we came into the clowns, and I'm like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. But there's nowhere to go. You can't go back.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. So it was fun. I think we both enjoyed what we got to see, and that it was like, now we've got a great story to tell, and we were laughing and giggling on the way home because, you know, the adrenaline rush had kicked in enough, and we were able to relax and laugh it off, and neither one of us feels ripped off. The security guy outside said we got to about a third of it.
Yeah.
So we missed technically the majority of it, but I think for both of us, we got what we needed out of the experience.
Yeah, you know, I know now, and I think, you know, we've said this a couple of times, if we'd had more people, we probably could have kept going. Like I think part of it was just, it was the two of us were alone, you know.
Because I felt like when the other couple was there, I felt a little better.
Yeah.
Even though they were perfect strangers, we were all in it together, kind of thing.
Maybe we should have. There was that other group those two girls who were kind of hanging with us. Maybe we should drop back and like
hung with them.
Maybe that would have been.
They were freaking out about Rathbone.
Yeah.
So I could just imagine how freaked they were inside.
Yeah, no, a joke, but it would have been fun.
Yeah, that's true.
But I didn't want to be like, hey, can we like come hang out with you? We're like lonely people.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Like,
so.
No.
So if we ever do one again, it would be with a group of people. Maybe we can have some kind of meetup.
Yeah, if anyone out there is willing, because I know when I admitted that I was too scared on Twitter, a lot of people go, "You're not alone." Totally, me too. I wanted to jump out the window, kind of thing. So, yeah, like it's not for everyone. I mean,
no.
And it's kind of funny because I think we both sort of experienced this. We both love horror movies.
Yeah.
And Logan leaves his
like I'm trying
remains behind. But and then I've been playing Silent Hill. You just started playing the first Silent Hill.
Yeah.
And that's an extra level because instead of just what's happening on the screen, you're interacting with the screen.
Yeah.
So then we took it to the next level of the haunted house, and now maybe we want to take that step back.
Maybe back it up just a little bit. Yeah.
So that's a good segue because we came home, and what did we do? Let's watch a horror movie. So we watched Silent Hill.
we got absinthe.
We drank absinthe because we need to calm our nerves.
Yeah. You need the booze, and we decided to put on Silent Hill.
Yeah.
And
it was entertaining for you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I've been playing through the games. I only have Downpour left. So I'm pretty versed on the mythology, and I've seen these things. So yeah, basically, I believe I'm sitting like right here, and I'm like, oh, the Grey Children, like basically doing that. I was drunk.
Yeah.
So that helped.
You were very excited about
I was very, very excited to see the Grey Children and Pyramid Head, and it was,
Yeah,
very
you were
excited.
And we'll talk more about that in upcoming...
We do have an upcoming episode. Once Revelation, the sequel, comes out, we'll be doing an episode that'll touch on at least the first 3 games, probably.
Yeah.
And also the 2 films, because they're kind of interrelated,
Yeah, so that's to be...
Yes, to be continued. Probably, obviously not until November, since the movie comes out so late in October.
Like the 23rd, something like that?
Something like that. It's pretty close to Halloween. So, yeah, we'll be getting to that in November, and hopefully some of y'all will also get a chance to go out and see the film as well before we get there. So, yeah, we watched that, and
then I was like we were talking, and I was like...
It was 3 a.m. by that point. It's quite understandable.
I was like out, and I'd had that long drive, 2 days before, and so I was done, and I was like, I'm sorry, I have to go lay down.
Yeah.
And then I slept for like 10 hours.
She was catching up. Yeah.
I was very tired.
Yeah.
And you did not sleep.
No, unfortunately, I got about 2 hours, and I think it was a combination of the alcohol, because sometimes alcohol can keep you up, and just going through the whole I didn't want to turn the light off. Call me a pussy. I don't give a shit. I did not want to sleep with the light off because I would close my eyes and I would see the clowns. Look, you aren't in that room. You don't know.
You don't know.
So yeah, it was. I had a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I had weird dreams last night. I think it was related to the clowns. So I don't know. I may be having weird clown dreams for a while. Yeah. They affected me.
So yeah, she slept till 1, which was totally understandable. And we pretty much had a lazy day.
Yeah, we we were both like not feeling great because the accent.
Because we'd been in the sun the whole at the zoo and like everything had just kind of like caught up and we're like, it was awesome that we got to do so much, but now let's just chill.
Yeah, and we stayed in and like.
Yeah. But did we watch anything? We know we watched Batman because she hasn't seen a whole lot of the Batman the Animated Series.
And
so
she has them, so we've been.
Yeah, of course, me, big Batman freak. So.
And, did we watch a movie? I don't think. Oh,
maybe.
Whatever it is.
Huh. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we did eventually. We went over to Dana.
Yeah.
Dana's house from the main Metafel podcast. And because they gave her a chance to meet Dana and George also very briefly. George works nights, so like he like literally was like getting up, going to work, and we got to say hi.
Yeah, it was like really brief, but we watched
Return to Horror High.
Which is a movie that I'm still not entirely sure I understand what happened during.
And basically, okay, the story behind that is, I remember going as a kid to like the video store, and there was always this poster. And as a kid, I was very afraid of skeletons. So it was basically a cheerleader skeleton.
Yeah.
And it was just something about it that it just always like freaked me out. Whenever I was in the store, I'd see it and I'd like, because it was like, sometimes those video stores didn't change out their posters for like a long time. So it was like always there, and I'm like, oh God, it's the thing, I don't want to see. So like it's been like etched in my memory. And Dana had actually like found it. Like, well, she's like, okay, that's Return to Horror High. But she'd never seen it before, so we're like, all right, let's see this.
Yeah, let's watch it.
We knew it wasn't well rated. So we knew going in that we weren't going to be getting much. But I don't think we expected it to be...
I never expected that.
Like, it's an early George Clooney film.
Yeah. Well, he's
like barely in it.
Yeah, he's in it for like 5 minutes, maybe.
Maureen McCormick. Is that her name?
I don't... Maybe? She was
Marsha Brady. She's in it. And I recognize the producer guy, but I don't know his name.
I can't remember, yeah.
There may have been some others, but it's supposed to be a spoof horror film, and it's kind of weird, and like there's some things that kind of remind you of like Scream, and like...
the thing about that film is there are ideas that might have worked if they'd have...
Yeah.
But they were like... There's like times where they're like writing this... Like in the movie is about filming a movie about a murder.
Right.
A whole series of murders. And so...
And it's being told by a guy in flashback, but the transitions from the real to the flashback are not done very well.
Well, it would transition... He would transition from him talking, and everything was like just smash cut together. There was no like actual like... It would just, bam, bam, bam.
Right.
But also, it would transition from him talking about it to not the murder, not the film crew, but the murders beforehand. But it was the film.
Like the actual murder events, and then somewhere along the way, it would become the film about the murder events.
Yeah. Well, it was like as if the film about the murder events was being shown and then it backs out or something. It was kind of hard to follow, to be honest.
Yeah, because if it was all the film, that there was no way that you couldn't film all of that at the same time. Like you'd have to get cut and then go to another city. But these people are like just walking through.
Yeah, it was like you watching the edited, completed film that they were filming, and then it somehow transitioned into watching the film from behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Which was weird.
Right.
Like, it wasn't like, yeah.
And then it was a case of unreliable narrator. So there's like, because like I said, it's like the guy who's the writer on the film is like telling the cops about what happened, but you don't know how much of it happened, but some of it had to have happened based on what happens after the fact with the police.
And I'm gonna have to like graph it or like map branches and trees. I don't know. I have no idea how to map this film.
I don't think a second viewing would help either.
Yeah, and
maybe a little bit, because there is like a whodunit aspect.
And I'm insane enough to try.
I'd probably not right away.
No,
but I'd probably try to watch
I need a break.
Knowing who the killer is, but like.
Yeah, because.
Very, very poorly done.
Yeah, it again, it's hard to explain how incredibly difficult and strange this film was to follow and understand, and how awful it was, even aside from all that. Like, the acting was really bad.
Yeah. The dialogue was pretty bad.
The dialogue was terrible. The writing, was just really
all the editing was like smash cuts,
yeah.
like messy stuff.
Yeah, like the scene transitions were non-existent. Like, every once in a while, like, you would think were they trying to transition that? I mean, like he would say something and it would cut to whatever he was talking about. And you're like, wait, was that supposed to be, like, did they do that on purpose? Because it seemed like maybe they did that on accident.
Yeah.
Or the one guy got cut and then they went to splashing blood on someone else. Just, you're like,
yeah.
Right? No.
The effects were pretty decent. I mean, I know, like, we saw, like, one review beforehand that said inexcusable low budget. It's like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, like how are you inexcusably low budget?
Right, but I thought for what it was, I thought it was decent.
No, I mean, for the budget they had, the effects weren't bad.
No, I didn't think so. I mean, they had that melty face thing at one point. It's just the special effects guy messing with you. I'm not, like, giving you any kind of
like anybody cares.
Right, exactly. But, I mean, like, and that was, obviously looked fake, but it was supposed to be. So I don't know, I thought everything looked fine. The only thing was, like, at one point, the actors, like, instead of obviously making a prosthetic head, they had the actors, like, through a table.
Yeah, it wasn't a table, it was a giant box that obviously contained the two people that were, their heads.
So, like, they're like this, but they're, like, not the eyebrows necessarily, but you could see, like, their eyelids moving.
Yeah, their eyes moving under their eyelids.
Or, like, maybe their mouth would, like, twitch. So it was like, you can't just sit still for one scene, like, it was kind of
And my thing was, like, these people know that they're filming a movie, so why would the people who find these bodies assume that they're bodies at this point?
Right,
especially since it's clearly, like, a special effect.
Yeah.
But then that comes out later that it's a story being told, and see, that's the problem, is it's hard to understand what the hell is going on.
And, like, for no apparent reason, like, because everything seems pretty much grounded in the real world.
Yeah.
But then apparently the killer is like Jason or Michael Myers, and that he can't be killed.
Yeah, like, and not like he gets stabbed once and goes down and comes back up. He gets staked in the heart with a fucking javelin.
Right. And then
like,
shot up
a
bunch of times.
The cops like unload into him.
Yes.
Like, not survivable.
Right. And but he survived at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, that's a spoiler, but.
Spoiler alert.
Just look. You
don't care.
You
I
don't
promise
care.
you.
Yeah.
By the time you get to the end of this movie,
there's a twist that's like...
It is the most absolutely ridiculous, nonsensical motherfucking twist I have ever...
Yeah. It's...
There's a janitor through the whole movie, right? He's he has one scene where he talks about how after, his film career takes off, he's going to get into doing porn.
Yeah.
But he's like the janitor, and you can hear him because he's squeaky bucket through the whole film. And at the end, it turns out that he was the killer, but it wasn't him, it was the other guy. There was no Amos the whole time!
Yeah, like, so he's Amos, he's a black man, he's a janitor. So, yeah, like, he pulls off, and it's a white man underneath, and apparently he's also been, like, painting his hands black. Yeah. And, like, one of the characters had gone to the high school, like, but I don't know if it was before the murders or... But, like, yeah, so he knew Amos from back in the day.
It had to have been before the murders, because he was a police officer reporting on the scene when the murders took place, and there has to have been, like, some period of time.
That's right, yeah. So, like, apparently the killer, who was the principal and the janitor at this school for years.
Yeah, because this guy's known him since he was in high school.
Yeah, like, Amos walks up to him and he's like, hey, I remember you. You were always nice to me, unlike some of those other kids.
Like, what's the point of it? What? Why?
Yeah. So...
I think why really describes the reaction.
So it was really good for us to all get together and watch that movie, because that's definitely the kind of movie that you kind of have to be with other people going...
Yeah. Why?
Yeah. It's a group one, and, yeah, like one of those, like, just heckle it the whole way through, and you'll have a really great time, basically.
Yeah. And then, like, we came back here and we were both tired, so we were like, let's go to bed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And today, was that today?
Yes.
Are we up today?
Yes, we're up today. We woke up not super early, but decent time. And we had been talking about going on a cemetery tour that they had. We had found like those local deals that was pretty reasonable.
Like Amazon local, yeah.
But it was like you had to make a reservation, and you hate to, when you have such 3 days, you hate to plan it with every little thing. So we didn't really know when exactly we were going to do it,
and then we looked at it, and it was like, you're going to meet here, and then you're going to walk all the way. And
all
it was
the way, yeah.
God, it was like half a mile almost to the
right.
And we're like, fuck that.
There's if there was multiple cemeteries in between or something, it'd be one thing.
Yeah, no, it's just
they
one
make
cemetery.
you meet at a coffee house. That's wait, no, we'll just drive over by the cemetery ourselves.
Yeah.
And just walk around. We would have gotten a little bit of history from the people, but you know what? We can always Google it.
Yeah,
so.
we'll Wikipedia it later.
Right.
But it was the St. Louis #1.
St. Louis #1.
Which is where Marie Laveau is
yes.
interred. I would say buried, but that's not really...
Yeah, we don't bury here.
Yeah, not really accurate. And we got hopefully the pictures turn out. Some of them might were a little whitewashed because it was an overcast day and all the tombs are white. So
right.
So some of them may have not come out, but
yeah, it was really good because I've been obviously to multiple ones around here, but I've never actually been to that one before. So it was new to both of us.
Yeah.
In a way, and that one is really neat because there's a lot of I guess what you would call community tombs. There's one for the French, there's one for the Italian, one for the Spanish. And there's also one for veterans of the War of 1812.
It was a specific battalion, I think.
Yeah, specific battalion.
The artillery battalion.
Right, which I think, I don't know, I think it was in the Battle of New Orleans.
Yeah.
So, it just kind of gives you an idea of just how long this history goes back to. And it was just really, really fascinating and neat to see those.
It was really interesting for me because I'm from Oklahoma and we weren't to state until 1906. So, we just had our centennial, a few years ago. Mm-hmm. So we don't have we have the oldest thing you'll see in a graveyard is someone who fought in the Civil War, maybe, but you don't see things from the Battle of 1812, which is the War of 1812, which is what that was, mm-hmm. and stuff like that. You don't see that where I come from.
plus everything's above ground because so it's it's an extra, and there's some really old, and then there's also some new ones. We found there was one person who died in 2010.
Yeah. But
she had relatives who had died in the 1700s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who were there.
Yeah, it was a family.
So it was something. Yeah.
And we've got, hopefully, some of this, I'm really hoping, because that was one where we weren't sure some of the pictures were going to turn out, but hopefully at least a few of them will turn out, so we've got some of those.
I think so, yeah.
And then we went and had, did we do anything else today?
Let's see. Oh, we forgot that we went out to eat to I took her to New Orleans Hamburger and Seafood, for those of you who are a little more local that might be familiar with that, just to get some catfish and some fried oysters and that kind of stuff. That was yesterday. Today.
Oh, we went to the market thing.
Oh yes, the French market. That's right.
Market.
When we drove over to the French market, and she got some goodies for her friends and family back home. And we also got some food. They had some, one of the little vendors, they had crawfish and mac and cheese.
It was really good. It was really good. It was
so good.
It was very, very, very rich. I couldn't finish mine because it was just so heavy.
As she's been discovering, all the food here is either very rich or very spicy. Or maybe both.
Maybe both.
Yeah.
And we were discussing this, and I love really spicy food, but when someone tells me spicy in Oklahoma, I'm like, add a little more spice to that, okay? Because I know it's not spicy enough for me. But here, spicy is
spicy.
So, and
we also got a blueberry daiquiri that they had at the place, which was real blueberries. And some kind of either blueberry liqueur. We're not really. It was blue.
It was blue. Sure. That was the
but it was really good.
It was.
We shared that so that we weren't drunken stumbling.
Yeah.
And let's see.
And I got some T-shirts.
Yeah, you got.
But we got several of these. We got one, and then I've got one for Greg, my husband, and I got one for my friend Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's actually, can you like?
Oh yeah,
hopefully they can see maybe.
It's a painted,
domino.
Domino. The back is painted. With,
yeah.
Mine's a dragonfly. It might be difficult to see from over here.
Yeah, probably so.
I'll take a picture so we can put it up on
Mine is if you kind of usually see like it's like the sun and then there's like the crescent moon layered on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
I got that one. Greg has a dragon.
Yeah, it was like kind of an Eastern style dragon, and then we got fleur de lis. It's like a partial fleur de lis. It's like a zoom like.
Yeah, it's like kind of like like the little off center and But that was like one of the more unique things. Like it's if you've never been to the French market, it's an open bazaar and there's a lot of like typical souvenir touristy things.
Yeah,
there's
like
the Mardi Gras masks and
the T-shirts I got are kind of souvenir-y, and I got Dad a coffee mug for and, well, I got that later.
You got that, but same thing.
It's but they also had like some really unique like handmade stuff,
right?
And
that was really neat,
and it like connected to the farmers market too, which is.
Mm-hmm.
And you said it was more of a local thing as opposed to like.
Which would you mean?
The farmers market.
Yeah, as far as I know, it's all local grown stuff.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
So.
Yeah.
And which was where we ate.
Yes.
Was at the farmers market.
Yeah.
So it was. No, it's and it was really beautiful today.
Mm-hmm. It was, it got cool today, so that was really nice.
Which was nice because we like about to melt on Friday.
Yeah.
Like we were both wilting pretty hard when we got back from the zoo. So no, it's been a lovely time, and I thank you so much for opening your house and letting me stay with you because.
No problem. I cooked her red beans tonight too.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
Well, I say I cooked them. It's canned. No, she knows that. But yeah, it's one of the best. You can't get them probably anywhere else. They're called Blue Runner red beans, and
they're really good.
There's no point in cooking them all day when you can get those. I'm sorry. Other people will fiercely dispute me on that. I know that, but for me, it's just as good.
And, I'm really always interested in like stuff you can't get like because we get the Chewies. Yes,
Chewies
are like a Cheeto.
They're basically like Cheetos, but they also do like flavors on top of the cheese, like green onion,
and
hot and
barbecue.
Spicy, barbecue.
Yeah, I got the plain ones too, just for comparison's sake.
Mm-hmm. I think they're like their texture's a little different than Cheetos.
Just a little bit, yeah.
So it makes sense to have those. And she also got some Zapp's chips, which I know like Zapp's are more widespread, but I think we get some flavors that not everybody else
gets. I got
gets.
the voodoo flavor.
Yeah, voodoo and the Cajun crawtators, which are basically like eating boiled crawfish, like the flavor-wise. So those are really good. And once again, very spicy.
Yeah.
Just expect that with
those.
So yeah, like...
I'll warn Greg. Or maybe I won't.
Yeah, those are like when you've been drinking beer and then you have those, you're like, oh my god, and you just keep eating. Like, maybe that's just me. I don't know. You know how it is when you're drunk and everything tastes awesome?
Everything tastes amazing.
Those are perfect
These
for that.
These are the best things I've ever had.
Yeah. So, did we get... Oh, we had the pralines, too.
Oh, yeah, the praline is really good.
Yes.
If you're from another part of the country, you might call it pralines.
They're pecans, and it's pralines.
I do call them pecans. I've never said pecan and meant it.
It's just so funny that it's one of those things that can just grate on your nerves so easily.
Yeah, Pauline says pecan.
No, I love her stuff, but no.
It's a pecan, yeah, and I know people who say it differently because.
It's
Like again, in Oklahoma, this accent's kind of mashed together, and you get like the inland Southern, and you get like the Texas, and then the Northern, and it's all kind of like combined. So it's weird. But it's been really lovely here. It was a great trip. I have a long drive.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. And I don't. We're planning on doing. I mean, this is hopefully. We're going to be rebooting. Basically, we're going to start doing this again. We're going to. Mm-hmm. We've got a Halloween episode that should be coming up before Halloween.
Hopefully before Halloween. Yeah.
That's the plan. And then we'll be doing the Silent Hill for November at some point. And I don't think we have it that planned out afterwards.
No, but that's okay. Oh, well, no, actually, we know the next, no, because that's true. Hobbit's probably going to be January.
Yeah, Hobbit's going to be January. So
December, we don't know. December will be a surprise.
December will be a surprise to possibly everyone.
Yes. And we will hopefully be getting, guests on like we had in the last few episodes. So.
We're talking about doing some live streaming.
Yeah.
We might, because we kind of ban ourselves from talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer during the podcast, because if we don't ban ourselves from talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, we won't shut up about it.
Right.
And the podcast will become the Buffy the Vampire Slayer podcast.
Right.
So we're talking about maybe live streaming some of that, or maybe we'll do, because I haven't read too many comics. So we're talking about maybe picking up some comics, and since they're so, comics are so short, even the longer collections are kind of, small, that maybe we would talk about that during the live stream, or maybe we could do, open mic night.
Open discussion.
Open discussion.
Yeah. So,
we've got, big plans, and we thought we'd kind of open with a video, so, especially since we're both here in the same place.
Yeah, actually in the same place.
In the same room. It's not movie magic.
Right. Yeah, there's no split screen here.
Yeah.
It's just funny that we got this, because Logan was here.
Yeah, Logan was here, but we're in the same room, I promise.
Right.
Otherwise, we both have the exact same couch and
that'd be pretty impressive. That'd be damn impressive.
I guarantee you we don't, because I don't have a couch. So big plans, and hopefully more videos, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Why not?
Why not?
Obviously, they won't all be
Yeah.
We're not going to be hopping and driving 12 hours all the time.
Yeah, this is not going to be this is more of an.
But we're hoping to maybe for the Screw Attack Gaming Convention.
Yes, we'd like to meet up for that.
Next year. That'll be summer sometime. So maybe at least by then we can do a video together. Yeah. And maybe I'll probably just report on that. I would say we'll probably end up doing. Whether it's video or podcast, but that's way in the future.
Yeah.
See, we can plan.
Yeah.
We can plan ahead of time.
Sometimes.
So that's something to look forward to. But we'll probably do some kind of either video or.
Oh, the stand. We might be doing that.
Oh yeah, well. What? No. I've started during the hiatus, the Castle Rock Companion, I call it, where I do a comparison of the original Stephen King works and then the films that are based on. So we kind of have interesting opposite opinions about The Stand. So we will probably end up doing some kind of collaboration, either a collaboration where it's a mutual video, or maybe two videos at the same time, each do our own video at the same time. We're gonna figure something out. It's very much up in the air right now.
Yeah. Well, everything kind of.
Yeah.
But we've got plans and plans within plans.
Yeah. So lots and lots of good things, hopefully, coming.
So we kind of missed our anniversary. So this is sort of our anniversary special, maybe.
Yeah. Sure.
So many good things to come in the year to come, and and hopefully I won't be sick for 2 3 months again.
No, but I will be getting braces. So if I start sounding funny.
Yeah, I started sounding funny, and I probably still sound a little different. So who cares?
But we're the teeth podcast. We both have all kind of teeth things going on, but that's okay.
It'll work.
So yeah.
So see you next time.
Bye.